Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you've all had a good weekend. So I think today we're going to probably start out with some PSO BB and then we might switch over to some PSU on Clementine a bit later on. I know it is the rare drop week on PSO at the moment, so I'll probably try and take some advantage of that. And then we'll switch over and just try and get a few levels or something in PSU as well. Just particularly because we haven't played PSU for a little while as well. You're waiting in the card lobby, I'll be there now. Yeah, so for anyone who normally plays with us, we've switched lobbies. So we're now in, it's Limerence 2 still, but it's lobby 13 now, which is the episode 3 lobby. Yeah, so we're now in this lobby. Mainly because, you know, it's Skyly coloured as well. It fits the theme. So I know we've got obviously a new Hunter's Boost Road as well. From what I've seen, the Hunter's Boost Road is a little bit hit or miss this week. So I know that we've got Endless Nightmare 3. Yeah, no worries, Draken, yeah. I know we've got Endless Nightmare 3, which could be good for hunting Sinnohs, potentially. The episode 2 quest looks like absolute hell because it's Control Tower. And it's a ton of ill gills in it, so it might be worth doing for V5 or 2 possibly, but it would be an absolute mess. Control Tower in Ultimate is horrendous. And then episode 4, I believe it's a creator quest and it doesn't have too many Astarks or Dolphins in it, so it doesn't feel like a fantastic selection this week, unfortunately. Man, it has to be better than the Rare Enemy Week, because Rare Enemy Week I got a couple of Conjurers that dropped nothing, and I managed to get 2 red slimes in hours and hours and hours of doing TTF, and neither of them dropped anything. So it can only be up from here. Yeah, it was terrible. It took me hours and hours last night to get 1 red slime to show up and then it just dropped nothing. I mean, I don't expect the Lavis drop, but... Oh, no worries, Pi. Good evening, Best Play. Alright. Yeah, I realise that this time's probably not great for anyone sort of to the west of Europe, so unfortunately it's about the only time I can stream, so... Yes, I was thinking that, so if we did some Green Hill RBR on Endless Nightmare 3, that should be good for V101, I'm guessing. I've already got one, but, you know, more would be good. 2:30 PM there. Yeah, I suppose it's not too bad on a weekend for a lot of people, so it's just an easier time for me to stream, that's all. Yeah, so I think the episode 1 quest is Endless Nightmare 3. So I know me and Draken did a run of it earlier in Very Hard, and well, Minsk was there for some of it as well. And it seems fairly good for Sinnohs. It's not as good as Lost Soul Blade, but I suppose we do have the advantage of the rare drop rate boost and the RBR boost as well. So it might be worth doing possibly over Lost Soul Blade. Yeah, I'm cooler than this Nightmare 3. So we'll play PSO for a while, and then later on in the stream we'll switch to PSU. And I have actually remembered to update PSU beforehand, so we won't be stuck on a patch screen for half the stream. I've also been doing some experimenting with PSO episode 3 as well. Yeah, we should probably have Anglish off. Yeah, we would just get totally one shot with Anguish on. Yeah, so we've been playing around a bit with episode 3 as well. So there is it's another server. It's kind of run by one of the guys involved with Ephinea. But yeah, it was actually a functional online episode 3 server. So me and Minsk were doing some online play yesterday. So we might be able to do that as well and do some more episode 3 content as well. Ending dreams. Yeah, it seemed quite interesting doing episode 3, actually. They've made a few little changes to it online to make it a little bit more tolerable. So you can get all of the cards from level 1 onwards, so you don't have to like grind and grind and grind to get any chance of getting the cards. They've also made it so if you lose, you get the same amount of cards as well, which is good. Yeah, so I was looking at the RBR to see if there was anything I was actually interested in doing this week, and there's actually not that much, to be honest. It's not the best quest for my IDs. Yeah, if anyone wants to join in, so we are just in Limb Race Block 2. We're in Lobby 13, but you should be able to join it anywhere from Limb Race Block 2. So by all means, if you want to join in. If there's a password on the games, the password is always stream. I don't think there is a password on this one, though. If not, we can just face tank it with 3 people. Joining for PSU. No worries. Yeah, Zill's keeping as far away from all the barons as possible. No worries, man. If someone joins, someone joins. I'm not bothered. Yeah, I do feel like Soulblade is probably the better quest for hunting Sinnohs, but for this week, potentially Endless Nightmare 3. If you can get a full party, or at least 3 people anywhere. So you get the 25% boost. So just a couple of bits on the channel just while we wait. So I made a post about this, but so for NGS content, I am going to try and keep doing NGS content. It is quite slow in that game at the moment. There isn't a great deal going on with NGS. I believe there is an update for it this week, which should give us a little bit more content, so I should be able to do a video covering that. If there is any quiet weeks with NGS, we can just sub out the NGS videos for more PSO or PSU. Another thing is, next week, so April the 10th, will actually be 1 year since I started uploading PSO and PSO to NGS videos. So I'm planning for maybe next week to maybe start the stream with just like a little Q&A thing, first of all, just for like the first few minutes of the stream. No big celebrations or anything, but it's just a nice little milestone to hit. Yeah, I am hoping that NGS gets some more content soon, because it would be nice to be able to do some easy videos on that. Hi, it's maybe. What is your credit card number and expiry date? Yeah, I'll just put that in chat. No celebrations, says you. Feel a big party, says that. It doesn't feel like a year since I've been doing it. I mean, the channel itself is ancient. I've had that for pretty much almost since YouTube started. But it's just the channel I use just purely to watch stuff as well. It's a year since I started seriously doing content. You're set up for anti-megate. Yeah, thankfully, probably one of the only areas in the game that doesn't have any. We just get one shot by Barons and Sinnohs instead. Yeah, no accidentally muting anyone this week. Seriously, don't worry about that last week, though. I know it was accidental, so... Alright, let's see how rough this is with a phone UL. Can we get a silence cloth from anything here? Because, I mean, there has to be something that can drop one, surely. Oh god, there's a Baron straight away. I've also just remembered that bosses do no damage to Barons in multiplayer. At all. I'll use gift for you a bit more, actually. Switch it for you to that one. Oh, I got a Justy. Well, there's one of the stream weapons found. See, dud tricks are fine, you know, because they're really, really easy to take out if you just take out the switch, but... And the Easter event is still on at the moment as well, so we can still get event eggs. Now, unfortunately, I did my first egg gamble a couple of days ago and just got the consolation prize of a photon drop. So, not that I expected anything else, but it's a 10% chance of success. Even though I won't be hopping into Unwell at the minute. Nice to catch a stream live all the same. Oh, no worries, Scribe. Hope you feel better soon. It's crazy how much of a difference in difficulty there is between single player and multiplayer really as a force. Just because everything is so much more resistant. Well, we got a photon drop. So we're starting strong. Yes, this is Endless Nightmare 3, so it's not a quest you would typically run that often, really, because honestly, some of the other mine quests do pretty much everything better. But just because we've got that big boost at the moment with the Raggle Boost Road, it is kind of worth running at the minute. Definitely better than last week's Episode 1 quest, which was Mop Up 1, which is one of the most useless quests in the game. The other thing I don't like about this quest is that the map layout's a little bit confusing. There's a lot of running backwards and forwards for switches. Crazy though, last week when I was doing all the rare enemy hunting, the amount of resets and everything in TDF was a ridiculous amount of experience. Actually, I think I got from about 132 up to about 140 just doing TDF. It's really strange though with the rare enemy week, because I always notice is that whenever there's a rare enemy week, I get less rare enemies. I don't know how that works. Just let me know if you want me to stop gelling in the Sinnohs, because I know it's a problem for some characters. Yeah, I didn't know Lily earlier. It's always the case, like whenever Rare Enemy Week's on, you get nothing, and then as soon as Rare Enemy Week ends, all the Rare Enemies start showing up again. Focus enemy energy in Gen 1 Pokemon, instead of boosting your crit rate, it cuts it to 1/4. Does it really do that? I didn't know that. Thankfully, I've never really used focus energy whenever I play Pokemon, but I didn't know I actually did that. So is that just in like red, blue, and yellow then? All I've seen is the green slime thing there before. Yeah, I haven't seen one of them for a while, actually. Yeah, they're Marissa. I've just realised that Minsk is using the ammo roars. Yeah, so because we've still got the Easter event, you can get the egg wrappies, and they drop Easter eggs that have a lot of these sort of comedy weapons in. You got a H power from it they needed for your Hue cast. Oh, nice. Yeah, Heavenly Power's a really nice unit. Rebel has many issues, like 256 Lich. Every single move, regardless of accuracy, has a 1 in 256% chance of missing. Yeah, I know that red, blue, and yellow are like incredibly buggy games. What I love with those as well is that when they added them to the eShop on, you know, on like 3DS and so on, you could still do the glitch to get Mew. They didn't think of removing that from it. It's still there. Unfortunately, you can't transfer it in Pokemon Home though. Picassi is level 30 with 822 attack power. Zamba is pretty busted. Zamba's a great weapon. As a Hue Newell, I really wish I could use one. It's one of those strange things with PSO where like certain weapons have really odd requirements. Like, if for some reason a sword can't be used by a woman. Alright? I know there's plenty of female-only gear in the game as well, so it does go both ways. Zamba Nation. Yeah, I've only ever had one male hunter, and it was a Hue cast back on GameCube. Never really got him high enough into Ultimate though to actually find anything like that. Typically, I always just run a Hue Newell or a Hue Casil. Second to TGS. Yeah, I think for female hunters, you tend to well with Hue Newell, you tend to run the 384 Flowers instead. Or run a chainsaw like I do because I've got nothing better. I do plan on hunting a 384 Flowers at some point though. I do, because I do have a Yellow Bow's character that's low level at the moment. At some point I'll get a leveled up to hunt that. I know it's a really easy hunt anyway, so... Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, being second to TGS is nothing to sniff at, you know, sneeze at really, because TGS is almost impossible to get, so... Although if you are hunting SGS, this is probably the week to do it when you've got a RBR quest in Tower. It's still never going to happen, but... I mean, Excalibur's obviously a really nice weapon for hunters as well, but I think you tend to find that rangers use Excalibur more often than hunters. Just basically use it as like an anti-lizard tool for Ep 4. Fires at level 30 Skylar. I wouldn't worry about it, maybe like hunting SGS is absolutely soul destroying. This is coming from me who hunted it for 4 years and never found it. What an Excal for 8 PDs and pretty cheap price. Used to be like 60 to 90. Yeah, it's kind of weird on Ephinea. I think obviously a lot of people want weapons with hit on Ephinea. I'm quite lucky in that my lame D'Argent that dropped with 10% hit, so I take it up to 20. I'm fine with that for the time being. It's a nice weapon, but I do find myself still using a sword a lot just because you get a lot of spawns that are much bigger than the Excalibur can cope with. Generally, I find that a lot of this stuff on Ephinea is quite cheap overall. There's a couple of exceptions, obviously, like for anyone who didn't see it, there was someone who literally just started playing the game recently, found a VIA with 60% hit untacked in very hard, and they teched it up to 70 after watching one of my videos apparently of how to tech. Yeah, so that new player who's just found that VIA is now going to get 900 photon drops for it, because VIA is one of the most broken weapons in the game if you can afford to run it, and with hit it's insanely good. So they can now afford pretty much any gear they ever want. I think they wanted a Psycho one for their force, and they could get multiple Psycho ones for it. Yeah, we get stuck with just these and final impacts, and that's about it. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, they just don't need to look for anything at all. They can just buy anything they want. From what I heard, apparently it was like the first Palace Shark that killed in very hard. Just drops them a 70% hit VIA. I know they said that they didn't know why the banner was scrolling for them. But yeah, there's a good reason for that. Yeah, the dim pillar last week. Yeah, it's hard to top that. Sorry, base player. After the stream, me and Draken were doing some before, and I found a set of Vulcans. They were already checked ones, so they didn't have a special or anything. And they were like 30 hit and 75% dark. It was just a massive waste of percentages. Yeah, I seem to have a knack of getting really, really high percentages on gear you're never going to use. Like, even going back to GameCube, I've got like a 60% hit custom rare, which is absolutely useless. You have a 65 hit Panic Buster. Oof. See, for some weapons, like base weapons, it's not too bad because you can at least turn them into other weapons. You know, so if you get a really nice percentage sword, for example, you know, you can turn it into a Dark Flow if you get Parasitic Gene Flow. But then there's some that you just can't do anything with. Yeah, it was a 60 hit custom rare. It's the handgun. It's like the next one up from Varista. I really, really don't like Barons, especially not in dark rooms. still have your -5% hit VA. See, that's the way to do it. It's funny how the verse is so trash, only the specialists somewhat okay. Yeah, you find a lot of like the early special weapons quite often just get outclassed by the regular weapons. It's like, why would I ever use a Varista or a custom ray when I could use a Demon's Ray Gun or something later on? But the reality is that you're going to get the Varista a lot earlier than the Demon's Ray Gun. I love the noise the Striker Chow makes. Your 60 hit Justice is just sitting in your bank. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's another weird one where the Justice is technically the next one up from the Vice, but the Vice is way better. If Zerk Vulcans were 50 hit, you have no reason to get a Vice now. Yeah, I mean, overall, I suppose the Vulcans are probably absolutely fine. I got a 15 hit Brevis. Brevis is an interesting one. It actually looks really cool. I really like the look of it. It's just not a very good gun, unfortunately. So I should probably mention, for anyone who hasn't seen yet, there was a video that's just gone live earlier today, which is just a guide how to convert the enemy body parts into gear. I know a lot of people watching probably already know how to do it, but it's more designed for people who are brand new to PSO, because the game doesn't really explain it. So there is plenty of other guides for PSO plans, so I'm going to do things like lore guides and things like that. I know a few people have asked me to do like weapon breakdowns as well. Just sort of featuring some of the weapons in the game. So I may look into doing that potentially as well. And now I've managed to get the online server for Ep 3 working, we can maybe do some more Episode 3 content as well. I honestly can't remember what S-Reds drop for Green Hill. It'll either be S-Red's arms or some ridiculous uber rare, because that's all they ever drop. Base players on it. Yeah, so it's Sinnoh Reds on Green Hill. It's probably something ridiculous if it's not S-Red's arms. Like, it'd be something like Heaven Punisher or 1975 Agator or something like that. Oh, they dropped... It's Nuke 2000, apparently. Oh, because you got a photon drop. But you got PD'd on a Nuke 2000 bazooka. It is 1 in 18,000, though. So, yeah, it was probably going to be a PD anyway. I mean, 1 in 18,000 from a Sinnoh Red is just brutal. Funny thing as well, I'm sure that Nuke 2000 is just outclassed by Cannon Rouge. I know that Nuke 2000 was obviously an episode 1 and 2 item, and Cannon Rouge is an Ep 4 item, but it just seems funny to me that Cannon Rouge is way easier to get and is better. Yeah, if you want a PB, I can just boost because it'll take me forever. Yeah, I think most people pronounce it Nug. I honestly can't remember how it's written in game. I can't remember if it's actually called Nug in game or if it's N-U-G with dots in between. But yeah, I don't remember it being that great weapon. I think it's pretty strong, and you could probably use it on a few areas, like on the dragon, for example. But if you're playing Blue Burst, Cannon Rouge is probably just better. And a lot easier to hunt. Like, ridiculously easier. One of the only things I'm not keen on in Blue Burst, that a lot of the Ep4 items just outclass some of the Ep1 and 2 items, but are a lot easier to get. So a good example of that actually is Excalibur. So Excalibur is way, way better than Lavis Cannon, but Lavis Cannon is much harder to get. Lavis Cannon does look way cooler though, so most like Excalibur looks a bit stupid. Did episode 4 debuff any weapons? The only debuff I can think of is, and it's like, it's an unintentional one because it was a glitch anywhere, is there was a glitch with Lavis Cannon actually on the console versions where if you kept it untech'd, you could use the special, which is like, it's like a piercing wave it fires, and it's meant to sacrifice some of your health to do it. But if you kept it untech'd, it had, I believe, it had better accuracy, and it didn't use any of your HP either. So you'd find on GameCube, for example, that anyone who found Lavis Cannon would just keep it untech'd. So they fixed that in Blue Burst, so I believe now that you can't do that anymore. But I don't think they straight up debuffed anything that I'm aware of. Yeah, I could be wrong on that, but to my knowledge, I don't think anything got debuffed. Uber has got debuffed. It's not too bad, this quest, actually, when you go a couple of people. I know we did it in very hard earlier with my Rhea Mal, who has just got into very hard, and she does basically no damage. Yeah, when you're using a spread needle and you're hitting things for like 10 damage, you know you need to level your Magma. Yeah, I don't think episode 4 debuffed anything necessarily. I think it was just that they added a load of gear that was a lot stronger. I mean, if you compare some of the Ep4 gear to the Ep1 and 2 stuff, it is a big difference. Not just weapons as well. It even covers things like units. So obviously in in Ep1 and 2, for example, there's a unit called God Battle, which boosts your attack speed by a decent amount. So first of all, in Blue Burst, they added Heavenly Battle, which is a way faster increase. And then they also added V101, which gives you that way faster increase and massive stat boosts. So there's literally no reason to use God Battle in Blue Burst unless you just haven't found anything else. But I do feel like it does make some of the gear a bit relevant. There's weapons like Sangha and Yasha as well. I know I use it on my Huni well, but in reality, it is outclassed by the Ep4 Twin Sword, Jizai. Jizai is much stronger. I think it's more accurate, has a way better special. And it's probably easy to get. Well, it's probably easy to get one with decent percentages. Just because trying to find a Sangha and Yasha with decent percentages is a nightmare. Now, somewhere on my item reader, I can see that a Durandal has dropped in a box with 5% hit. I'm not even going to bother looking for that. It's just not worth it. Oh, you just dropped it? Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe a box drop or something. Oh, you forgot to hit the camera switch. I mean, if you want to pipe back to Pioneer and come back down, I don't mind. I mean, I can understand you wanting to do that. I hate the quests that have where the camera alters. I'm really glad that they've put a thing in Ephinea where you can just turn it off. That's what happens sometimes when you get gellened. You know, when you're gelling enemies, occasionally they will just beat you to a pulp. Yeah, if you want a PB, just go and I'll just boost. Really don't like dealing with Baronses. Need another. Yeah, if you want to join Doomlord, we've got another space. So we're almost at the end of this now anyway. This is the last room, I think. So we're just in Luminous Block 2, Lobby 13. So we've moved to Lobby 13 now. Maybe that's why all the rares have stopped dropping. We've gone to the unlucky block. It all makes sense now. Oh yeah, you got a Justice. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I saw that in Discord, yeah, that you got a 55 hit Brionac. So close to it being a VIA. Just think, you could have bought anything if it was a VIA. I think you can actually get a VIA with hit from some of the, I think it's from some of the Ep2 government quests if you do them as a hunter. I can't remember which hit it has now. It is a partisan for the rich, yeah. The reason it's worth so much with hit is just because the way the special works on the VIA. As you might know, it uses 10,000 Misera instead of 200 for a charge. But with charge normally, it's not really an issue because it doesn't use the money if you miss. Whereas with VI, it uses the 10,000 regardless of if you hit or not. So you can literally swing at a group of enemies, hit none of them, and use 10,000 Mazetta. So if you got one more hit, that then obviously reduces the chance of that special missing. So it just makes you be able to put out that damage way more often. And the damage multiplier on the VI especially is much higher than anything else. Hey, done. Yeah, just a bit more, yeah, 10,000. Angel Man minus. Yeah, I'll skip that, I think. Yeah, it's one of the few exceptions with PSO really where one of the really, really common weapons to get is actually worth a fortune if you can get one with good percents. I suppose the other one I can think of is like Disco Braveman, so if you can get a really, really high hit Disco Braveman, they're worth a bit as well. Not as much as VIA, but still worth quite a bit. It's probably a couple of others as well, like maybe the MA60 Vice as well, because that's actually got a useful special. Slicer Fanatic. So Slicer Fanatic is a really, really good slicer. I know it hits one less target, but it does have, I think that's a demon special, which is really, really good. It's not really that easy to get though. Yeah, Disco Braveman is really, really good if you can get one with hit. Unfortunately, even though I'm a red rear, I still haven't found one with hit. Obviously, the great thing with Disco Braveman as well is the fact that you can set boost it with the 13 armor. It's a huge set boost. I suppose that is one of the good things about Blue Burst, that they did make some of the older weapons more worth using. I mean, on GameCube it would have been not too bad if you got a Braveman with hit, because it is still a slicer with Berserk at the end of the day. But just having the big set boost from 13 as well just makes it way more dangerous in Blue Burst. I'm sure it's about a 50% weapon attack power increase it gets. And I think it gets some accuracy boost as well. I can do the exchange. I can just do it off stream. The exchange, do you reckon? It's up to you. We can sort the materials out now if you want to, or we can do it later on. You got to be love being part of the GameCube, plebs. No set for you. It's still really good though. If you can get a Disco Braveman with it, it's probably still worth using. And if you can't get one of those, even just like a charged Disco or a Berserk Disco with hit will do fine. I mean, generally, charge anything is fairly decent. Got 66 event eggs. I've only got like 2 now because I tried my gamble and failed horribly. I got a float on drop. That was it. Yeah, so what is it you need me from me, Draken, for the Mercurius Rod? Glide and Caduceus, okay. I'm sure I've got a spare glide. There's Caduceus, and I think the glide is in my other storage. Please tell me I've got one. Hey, there we go. Ah, cheers for that. Yeah, so that's the Mercurius Rod. So this is essentially an upgrade from the Caduceus. Boost grants by quite a decent amount. Also has a gift value special as well. So pretty nice rod. Keep doing that with glide. When I get the glide ability, for some reason what it does is instead of, so if I equip this sorcerer's cane now, for example, when I go to remove it, it says remove drop sort. But when the glide ability is ready, it changes it to it goes to like use remove drop instead for some reason. So I instinctively go to drop. Drop trading risky. I trust people here. I wouldn't do it in a public game. Yeah, I think we've figured out that most people here are trustworthy now. Yeah, if I was trading with randoms, I would just do it through the trade window instead. Are you talking to Draken? Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, this lobby is basically modelled after the episode 3 lobby. So if you played Card Revolution online, this is what the lobby was like. These little tables up here, you could actually go to these and start a card game from here. And that actually does work on the private server as well. Yeah, I don't mind doing another EN3 or if you want to do a TTF run. I suppose TTF, you know, we could gamble for Red Ring. Yeah, you get more eggs on EN3 just because of the RBR boost. Yeah, I mean, the Red Ring drop chance is like incredible copium, but... I suppose this is the week if you're going to go for it, I guess. I think if we're doing TTF, I'll put my Cure Freeze in. I'll probably still get annihilated by fault anyway, but gives me some hope. Your Red Ring's on the wrong server. Oof. Yeah, I'm definitely putting a Cure Freeze in for this. Hi, Shifty. Yeah, so we'll just try some TTF and just, you know, Try for the red ring, I guess. Yeah, no worries, Minsk. So my theory is if we keep doing this, eventually someone on the stream will get a red ring. Might not be me, but I'd like to see someone get one. Or I'd like to see someone get like an incredibly rare drop in the game. I think the best we've had so far is a V101. But, you know, it'd be nice if someone could get a Lavis or a Psycho Wand or a Heaven Punisher. Knowing PSO, it's never going to happen, but... So we'll get started in a minute. As I say, we'll probably play a bit more PSO and then we'll switch over to PSU a bit later in the stream. Is that MM as in Mille Marteau? Or however you pronounce that. Yeah, that's such a hard weapon to make. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't played Blue Burst, it's a mech gun that you make from combining a Heaven Punisher with another handgun called Ophelia. Ophelia's not too bad to get. Heaven Punisher, yeah, go and look at the drop rates. I honestly don't know if I'd make it if I ever found a Heaven Punisher, to be honest. I'm not sure. Not that it matters, because I'm never going to find a Heaven Punisher anyway. Yeah, just don't mix the two up. Yeah, you need to make sure you have the right one equipped when you're making it. Yeah, I think someone said that an SGS dropped earlier as well. So there's been a few big drops today. And I saw someone get a Psycho Wand earlier as well. I do wonder, like, all these people who are finding things like Psycho Wand, if they're running Anguish, or if they're running like regular gameplay, and just being incredibly lucky. Yeah, if you get a clean Heaven Punisher, it's not too bad. It was the same with me on the Sega servers when I found Yasha. You know, it was so scary making Sango and Yasha because I didn't want to mess up which sword I had equipped. Because I had like I think it was a 30 hit Sanga, but my Yasha had really bad percentages, so I didn't want to mess it up. Looks pretty cool, this rod, actually. It does look hilariously big on my phone, you all though. Yeah, I've seen a few big drops today. There was a 1975 Agito dropped earlier as well. It's just never in the games I'm in. You know, these other people are getting Psycho Wand and so on, and I'm happy if a Disco Braveman drops. I'm gonna switch back to a 5 for now, I think. Yeah, quite a lot of the 1975 seem to drop now. To be honest though, for the 75, there is a couple of drops that are actually reasonably obtainable for it. Um, it's not bad. I mean, I know it's got an instant kill special. I can't remember if it's hell or if it's a lower one. I've got a feeling it's a lower one, but I could be wrong. Downside is that even if you get one with good percent, as soon as you turn it into an Orochi Agito, it loses all the percentages. And I'm not sure it's worth making, really. Kind of funny how fast you shred the boss with Gazonde on this guy. But yeah, I found a 1975 on GameCube. I personally don't think it's that great, honestly, even when it's converted. Main reason is because at least on female hunters, I don't know what it's like on males, but on females, the animation for katanas is horrible. It's really, really slow. It just feels like a worse saber, honestly. The thing is, I mean, in PSO though, not everything that's rare is actually good. You know, there are some things that are just rare for the sake of being rare. You know, look at things like the purple Numflower Sword and DB Saber. They're ridiculously hard drops, but they're terrible. All the section ID cards are terrible. I think some weapons are just literally for collector's value more than anything else. What's that katana you're using anyway, Minsk? Is that 1975? Is it? I'm good for rest of 30. I've already got it. Spirit type SWJ sword. Oh, okay. So it's one of the weird type M weapons. The tradition is continued. Silence Claw. Yeah, tradition dictates that we have to get at least one Silence Claw drop per stream. It's good to see it's been kept up. I actually have no idea if these are worth splitting on Green Hill. Oh, so it's actually a sword. So it looks like a katana, but it's a sword. Oh, actually, does it look like the Tsumakiri J sword? Doesn't it actually? Yeah. I think that makes sense. You wish you didn't have the Spirit Special. They were cast by any chance. Actually, I think you said earlier, didn't you, that you've got a Hue cast? Yeah, that probably explains why you're not keen on Spirit then. It's an odd time to play a disc, but they'll probably just get wasted as soon as we go on the boss. Ikima's level 10. Yeah, you could probably get some usage out of it on a rare mal. You maybe use it for episode 4 to take care of the lizards. Even though I'd imagine something like Excalibur would be better. Oh, I've just remembered the experience of running this guy as a force. Really strange thing about this boss is in multiplayer he seems to take way more damage from techs. If you do this guy in offline, you know, it's like one player mode, he seems to take a lot less damage from techs. Normally it's the other way around. Gimme Zerk. Yeah, I'm definitely going to level it in the experience week. I can join you in rail gunning to roll it. Yeah, I do have one of the Reign of SNR 5s actually, so once I've got enough ATA to use it, I can join you with that. Yeah, I did a little bit of work on my rare mal earlier, but it'll be a lot easier in experience week and once a mag's leveled as well. At the moment, she's only got like a level 50 mag, which has next to no power on it. Would a Berserk Disco with hit be better than a Braveman? Depends if the Braveman's got a hit. If it was a Berserk Disco or a Braveman without hit, I would probably go towards the Berserk Disco probably. Because the reality is that slicers don't have a huge amount of attack power anyway, so the difference probably wouldn't be too much. It would also depend on if you're playing Blue Burst as well, because if you're playing Blue Burst and you've got the 13 bonus, then maybe Braveman would be better. But a Berserk Disco should do absolutely fine, because Berserk can't get reduced. Same for things like a charge disco as well, they'd also do really, really fine. Essentially any sacrificial special would be good. Basically, specials tend to get reduced on some weapons that either hit one target more than 3 times, or on weapons that hit multiple targets. I think slicers, I believe it's either a 1 or 2/3 reduction in the effectiveness of specials, but for things like Berserk, there's no difference with them. So you can get away with using things like Berserk slicers, no problem at all. It doesn't necessarily need to be a rare one. Same for rare weapons as well. I think most 9-star weapons have reduced specials, whereas most 10 and higher tend to have them reduced. There is a few exceptions to that though. Hey, Cubs, you okay? Here you catch a stream just in time for Fantasy Star. It's always Fantasy Star here. Well, most of the time anyway. Yeah, of course, we're just going to be playing some PSO BB for a while, and then we're going to switch over to PSU a bit later. Sounds good. Ah, cool. The boss is glitching out a bit. It keeps appearing on different screens than it's showing me on the map. There he goes. I think he's synced back up again now. It's really susceptible to desync, this boss. We're going to have to scoot just before PSU. Got an early start in the morning. Ah, no worries. Yeah, just I know a few people mentioned about them being interested in seeing PSU again, so I thought we'd play it for a bit this stream. I do prefer playing PSO overall, but I'm happy to play a bit of PSU as well. I never really know how to take care of this boss as a force. It seems like it just doesn't take much damage from anything, really. You haven't updated PSU? Yeah, I know when I went on earlier, there was quite a big update for it. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what the best strat is for Phase 2 with a Force, particularly online. Just let other people kill it. No worries, Minsk. Just absolutely burning tri-fluids like usual. Drak did manage to get me a Sorcerer's Cane, which does help a little bit. It gives like a 10% TP cost reduction, which is nice. But honestly, with how much TP I'm using, I still burn through fluids anywhere. The old tri-fluid from Voloptric added a low when you're hunting a photon launcher. I don't mind him giving me tri-fluids, honestly. Wish you could play this on a home system. So, the only way you could replay it now, I suppose, would be... Oh, there's the egg there. The only way you could play it now would be if you've got access to any of the actual games. You can still play them online. There are private servers for the console versions. It's just whether you've got access to the game or not. Obviously, there are other ways, but I can't really go into them on stream. You have it on GameCube and the private servers with a broadband adapter. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think the only downside with GameCube is I think that online there is a lot less people playing it than Blueburst now. never got to play Blue Burst, it's worth trying if you've got a PC or a laptop or anything that can run it. I mean, it's pretty easy to run, honestly. It is very, very similar to episode 1 and 2 on GameCube. There's just an extra episode with some more stuff in it as well. And some quality of life improvements. So if you've got a PC, you can download this quite easily on any of the private server sites. So yeah, so this server is Ephinea. There's also, I know there's another server called Ultima as well. Kind of depends what you're looking for with the game, really. So if you want an experience that's quite similar to how it was with Sega, then this is probably one of the closer ones. The bringers hurt so much, man. The really annoying thing about the bringers as well is that they decup your weapon when they hit you with the charge, which for the glide is really annoying because it means I can't charge my 10-minute ability. Very cool getting to watch Blue Burst. I'll subscribe. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I play Blue Burst most weeks, honestly. I'm hopelessly addicted to this game and have been for the last 20 years, so... Yeah, bringers are an absolute nightmare with a Force, particularly with like a full new world, because I can't really do anything to them. They're immune to almost everything. Yeah, there's a few enemies in, particularly in online play, in multiplayer. They're just pretty much immune to everything a Force can do. We have a massive collection of PSO physical goods. Oh, cool. I've got a few things. I've got a few of the figures. So I've got the a couple of the Raker Seal figures. I've got a couple of the art books. I really, really want one of the cold cast statues back from PSO. There was basically these statues that they did. I think there was a Humor, a Hugh Newell, and a Fo Newell. They very rarely come up anywhere. I think there's a Hugh Newell one on eBay at the minute, and it's like £500. You've got all three. Oh, I'm so jealous. I am currently building a, it's like a model kit of the PSO 2 Hugh Newell, because I knew I'd never be able to afford that statue of the PSO 1 Hugh Newell, so I thought, well, I'll get the next best thing. It's nowhere near as good as the PSO 1 statue, but it's something. I should just be spamming Giffey here, read like everyone else. Yeah, I'd love to get hold of those statues. It's just waiting for one to come up at the right time on eBay for me, really. They're just so expensive when they do come up. I think it's because I believe they only made about 500 of each one. You have a social media I can send pics? Yeah, so I'm on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, just under SectionSkyly. So the same as the channel name. Yeah, I've got a little PSO collection myself, but I'm always up to trying to get more. Do you have all the little Gachapon figures as well, the small statues? I haven't got any of those yet, because I'm not sure if they actually look any good. They seem a lot cheaper on eBay, so I might be able to pick those up. Oh, here we go. Phase 2 faults. I really hate this phase of faults online. It's so scary. Mainly because of that. You've got all of them and the clear versions. That's a serious collection. The Rabata is just infuriating. What I might do, if he lets me stand up, actually, is I'm going to equip 3 seals to give me a little bit more ice resist. No joke. Oh, no doubt, yeah. I know some people have got serious collections, so really interested in seeing that, actually. I should probably just use Summit Moon here, honestly, because it's a single target. Let's do that. Please stop spamming Rabata. Not so bad once that phase is done. Yeah, I think there's one more art book I need to get as well. I've got the Book of Hunters, the Dreamcast one, and I've got the Blue Burst and PSU art book. But I need to get my hands on the episode 1 and 2 art book as well. Yeah, it's still a nightmare with Cure Freeze, isn't it? It's just the damage it does because it hits multiple times. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. I would imagine if you put them in like an album, then link to the album, it'd probably work. So I'm guessing if you've got a huge collection, you've probably played PSO for a long time then. Yeah, the slap is just the disrespect slap. It's even worse when you got less than 900 health as well, because you just know it's an instant kill. Since day 1 Dreamcast, oh nice. Yeah, I started with GameCube in about 2003. I've gone back and bought a Dreamcast since, so I've played a little bit of version 1 and 2. You see it like an Austin Powers judo chop. Ah, Min's got megaed. His slap doesn't really scare me now because I know I can survive it. Yeah, did they ever do any figures or statues of any of the creatures from PSO or the bosses or anything? I don't think they did they? I know that the actual merch in terms of figures and so on does seem very, very limited for the game. Yeah, it's sad really. I know that they increase merch a lot for like the later games like PSO 2, but for PSO there's very little. Lost opportunity, yeah. Yeah, it would be literally take all my money. And no one got Red Ring. No surprise there. Yeah, I've basically got into this habit where I just like check eBay every couple of days and just search PSO and see if there's any merch I want. There's things like the standees as well and posters, but the standees again are incredibly expensive whenever they come up. Spent $300 recently on a complete set of PSO 1 and 2 playing cards. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm guessing there's probably a load of like really limited run merch that was like promotional gear that was done at the time that you're probably never going to see most of the time on eBay. I'd imagine to get a lot of it you have to scour like Yahoo Japan and things like that as well. Never seen them until then. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Did I get anti-level 7 yet? No. Despite everything else I've found in this game, I'm still yet to find anti-level 7 disc for my 4-new. I was thinking, what, it's a special weapon, but it's a silence claw, isn't it? Just for the proof, there you go. There's the weekly stream silence claw. And it's gone. See that 25 hit guilty light, well, sorry, 15 hit guilty light on the floor. The other advantage of this lobby is there's a jukebox in it as well. Yeah, so I think we could probably maybe do one more and then maybe switch over to a little bit of PSU for the end of the stream. You need 2 ad slots to use Ignition Cloak. You can get them from Paganini as well, but I know that the trade rate is better from players, so you're probably better just trading for them from other players, honestly. Any chance you could do a new area on Blueburst? Yeah, so one of the episode 4 areas. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. Is everyone here okay to do an episode 4 run? So I'm guessing, have you not seen Blueburst before then? Never seen any of them. Okay. Yes, so this lobby command is basically from the PSO episode 3 card game. I don't know if you ever played that, but this is the online lobby from that. They've just added it to Blueburst. Yeah, so we could do max attack at E if you wanted to. Yeah, we could just make an episode 4 game and just pick any of the maximum attacks, I guess. Yeah, sure. Oh, you've got the physical cards from Ep 3. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've seen there's a few of those. Again, they don't really come up very often. There has been a couple of rumours floating around recently about potentially Sega looking at like a PSO remaster or remake, but the guy who leaked it, so to speak, has a very questionable back history with leaks, so I would think that if they are going to remaster it, I would think maybe 2025, just because that would be 25th anniversary of PSO. It just makes sense. For the love of God. I think everyone wants it, honestly. Hate New Genesis. I think a lot of people are very, very mixed on that, or just don't like it. For me, I like the combat to an extent in NGS, and it looks nice. But I've said this before, I feel the story is terrible. And there's a lot of balance problems with the game, and just, honestly, just not that much to do in it. It does feel quite empty, I think, NGS at the moment. I mean, I am an official Sega NGS content creator, but in all honesty, I do feel the game is lacking a lot at the minute and does need some big improvements. It's a scratch simulator. There's a set of PSO playing cards on eBay for £160. Ooh. Yeah, I had that. There's a statue of the Hunuel on eBay at the moment. It's been on there for months, and I've had it on my watch list on eBay for literally months, hoping that the seller's going to bring the price down, and it's just not coming down. I think the guy reduced it by about maybe $5 or $10 at most, but it's still like nearly £500. Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, but I think it's about $500 or so. It's been on there for ages. Like I think it's probably been on there for at least 6 months, if not longer. But the price just barely gets adjusted at all. I've seen a couple of the full New World ones as well. They're a little bit cheaper, but when I say a little bit cheaper, I mean still over $400. I think, again, it's just because of how old they are and because they were limited run as well at the same time. So, you know, you put both those together and it makes them very, very rare and sought after. There's also the question of where I'd put it, because I am really running out of space in here for stuff, but I think if I got something like that, I would just make space. There's quite a few Rick Seal ones, so there's a few model kit ones by a company called Kotobukiya. I've got one of those. I don't really rate that one, to be honest, because I don't know if it's the same with anyone else's, but the one that I've got, the plastic is really, really fragile on it, and just it breaks really easily. And I honestly don't think it looks that good. But there's a Bandai figure as well. There's an Eleanor version. There's also a black version, which looks like Shino. I've actually got the Shino one, actually. I can probably show you that quickly. Yeah, so I don't know how well it'll show up on camera, but that's the Shino one. Comes with a little Sato as well. That's a really, really nice statue, that. Yeah, so for that one, I got it from, there's a site called AmiAmi. It's a Japanese site. That was actually a pre-owned one because it went out of production years ago. Yeah, that's the one I've got. So it comes with 2 different heads. So you can either have it with like an Eleanor style head, and it does come with the parasol as well. But I really like Shino as a character in episode 1, so I had to make it a Shino. You want it just for the Sato. The Sato is incredibly chunky. It's really, really cute. I think the other version of it, the one that looks like Eleanor, that comes with like a basic mag. But it also comes with a load of other stuff as well. So I think the Eleanor one, that comes with, I think it comes with a box, a few weapons, and I think it does come with a red box as well. I need to put Gifoy back on for this. Otherwise the zoos will be absolutely insufferable. The next figure you want is 2B or A2. Are you a Nier Automata enjoyer? Yeah, I absolutely love Nier Automata as well. That's one of my favourite games. Yeah, so this is one of the episode 4 areas. So this is the crater. There's 2 areas in episode 4. Well, technically 3. You've got crater, which is this area. There's crater interior, which is an area connected to this. And then there's the subterranean desert as well. Out of box, think of the resale. I still have the box. Yeah, so those big guys are essentially just oversized Delbiters. Yes, maybe on the subject of Nier, just to show off again. Yeah, I got the Nier t-shirt. That t-shirt is one, you only got it if you went to one of the concerts. Very jealous. Yeah, I went to the London concert a couple of months ago. Amazing if you ever get a chance to go to it, by the way. Really worth it. Yeah, so one interesting thing with episode 4 is these lizards. So I know you said you'd never played episode 4 before. These lizards, they kind of phase out if you hit them with range attacks. So if you're a ranger, you basically have to bring a melee weapon here. Going to Baltic Comic Con in May, hope to find a figure there. I think the only figure I've got for Nier Automata is I've got the Bringart statue of A2. But I do also have... This is just going to be the stream of me showing stuff to the camera now. But we have small A2. Yeah, I love the small A2. It's got like the slightly angry face on it. It's really, really cute. I think the plushies you can still get from the Square Enix store, they're still easily available, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, so this song, it was actually introduced in PSO Baby. It's just the theme of the creator. She looks more inconvenienced. Oh, you've got a small Anya from Spy Family. Yeah, so quite a lot of the enemies in episode 4, you'll probably notice, are quite heavily based on episode 1 and 2 enemies, but they're different enough to be interesting at least. Some of them are incredibly annoying though. So these big birds, the zoos, they are really irritating. And they're the entire reason I'm just spamming Gifoy, because if you don't spam Gifoy on them, they'll just dive at you all the time. What do you mean a zoo is a nano dragon? Never. Are you saying that Sega actually reskinned enemies? Next you'll be telling me that these Aztaks look like Hildebears. Zoos are like B-52 bombers. Yeah, they are really, really annoying. Yeah, they do the same punch as the Hildebears. They do have a little bit more going for them, though, so they do spit poison. But they do act very similar to Hildebears, honestly. The really strange thing with episode 4, though, is although there are 3 areas in episode 4, there's only 1 boss. So Crater and Crater Interior don't actually have a boss. So yeah, I mean, although the enemies are quite obviously based on the episode 1 and 2 stuff, I do feel like they are different enough to actually still be fun. The great thing is the lizards are really susceptible to Megget. This weapon I'm using here, this is a weapon called Glide Divine. So it's quite an interesting rob weapon, and it's really, really useful actually as well. So it's got a few interesting things about it. First of all, it doubles the range of your Jellin and Zalur, so it's great for debuffing enemies. It's also got a really weird ability where if you keep it equipped for 10 minutes straight without changing weapon, you can use it in your inventory. You don't lose the weapon or anything. And what it'll do is it will drain your health to 1, but it'll refill all your TP. There's a few uses for it. It's obviously great for saving fluids if you can go 10 minutes without changing weapon. But it's also really good for triggering mag triggers. Yeah, it's quite an interesting looking weapon. It's not particularly rare or anything, but it's just a very, very useful weapon for forces in Ep 4. You had no idea it could do that. Yeah, again, this is something the game does not tell you. I don't know how anyone found it out. I guess just by keeping it equipped and noticing. Yeah, it does look quite a bit like Darkbridge. Can I do it? No, it hasn't been 10 minutes yet. So basically, after 10 minutes, this remove option here will change to use. I'll see if I can keep it equipped so I can show you. In reality, the refill isn't terribly useful because you do have to keep the weapon equipped for 10 minutes straight without changing. But it's just a nice little bonus it has. Also, it's got another really weird thing about it in that the special attack is anti. You just cast, I think, to level 3 anti, which again is not particularly useful, but it's just a really odd weapon. That is a lot of Dolphins. They also do an absolute ton of damage. No twin save. Maybe next time. I mean, these guys are just basically just big Del biters. There's not really any getting around that. Golla? No, we represent Fala here, not Golla. I suppose we have to respect all the underloved Photon Blast, the ones that never get used. Yeah, so then next part of the quest, we've got Subterranean Desert. So this is like the last area of episode 4. And this has some really, really annoying enemies. So these guys, all the different versions of them, they'll all teleport constantly. And they all teleport in different ways as well, just to make them more infuriating. It's like the regular ones, they will teleport towards you to get near you. There's other ones that teleport behind you, and then there's these guys that just teleport all over the place. Yes, so what I'll do is, once I'm running low on TP, I'll see if I can use the glide ability. I will have to be very careful when I use it because it's really easy to get killed doing it. Because it does reduce your health to 1. You can heal straight away, obviously, after it, but the amount of things that take pot shots at you in this game is ridiculous. Time to save it in solo, Voloped on hard at level 31. You got it. Right, is it safe to do? Not really. These guys are really irritating as well. Right, I'll try it. Yeah, so it's ready now, so I'll do it outside the room just so I don't get killed doing it. But if you watch my HP and TP now, you can see it's changed to use. Now, reduce my health to 1 and refills all my TP. Yeah, it's just a really nice ability to have every so often. So this guy in the middle is probably the most annoying enemy in the entire game. He basically pulls you towards him. He also uses fire, ice, and lightning, and shocks and freezes you constantly, and has really high defense, so you have to basically use demons to kill it. It is incredibly irritating. Got into Warframe again recently. Anyone play that game? I think I only played a tiny bit of Warframe. It was back when, I think back near when it first released. I could never really get anyone else in, any of my friends into it really, so never really stuck with it. I know it's still going, so I'm assuming it's still doing really well. Yeah, these guys, mega annoying. Yeah, I always heard that people said that Warframe was a bit like PSO. I didn't really play it enough to really get much of a feel for it, to be honest. You're about to do the ad read for War Thunder, but misread the comments. Yeah, it's slightly different games. Oh my god, we have an anti-level 7 disc drop. Finally, we have anti-level 7. Only took until level 140 to find it. And now slightly less useless. You now need another one for Minsk. Yeah, exactly. It's because you asked about it earlier on, so the game noticed. Yeah, so the way that the drops work, there are 2 ways. Yeah, there's basically 2 ways that the drops can work in this. So you can have it like classic PSO if you want to, where if a red box drops, everyone beelines towards it and the first person that gets it. Or you can do it in what's called the PSO 2 drop system, which is the default on this. So PSO 2 drop system, essentially everyone's map is instanced and all these drops in here are mine. Everyone else will get their own drops. The game will notify me if a rare drops for someone else. But it basically means that you don't have to worry about trying to like beat everyone to get to rare weapons. Because anyone who's played Force or a Ranger on the old versions knows that whenever a rare weapon dropped, the Hunters pretty much always got it because they were there first. Yeah, no fighting. No fighting over rare drops or anything. I mean, there was something cool about it where, obviously, if a rare dropped, you could see that your friend had got a rare. You could see what had dropped. But to be honest, I think the benefit of just having it where you don't have to fight over the drops is worth it. What does anti-level 7 do that 6 can't? Yeah, it cures freeze on other people. Obviously, you can't cure freeze on yourself, but it allows you to unfreeze other people. And for some reason, they decided that level 7 needed to be that. Yeah, this isn't like a normal episode 4 quest, so this is, I believe this is a maximum attack quest, so it's got a lot more enemies than normal. But it should give you a good idea what episode 4 is like. Yeah, Tat and Banky cure freeze. Yeah, I'm not that good with Force yet. Yeah, been a long time coming, that anti-level 7. It just made me look like a really bad Force because anytime anyone got frozen, I couldn't do anything about it. I would just stand next to them and spam rest it. This barrier, so it's the one that me and Draken are both using. It's called 3 Seals. So you get this from the Wandering Tekka. So essentially from the gambling system that they've added, where you can gamble on Mazetta to try and get some rares. This you can only get from that on certain days. Doesn't have particularly good defensive stats or anything, but it gives you really nice resistances. Gives you, well, 33 to all your resistances. It also boosts Raison Day for some reason. And I believe it's just a really nice Force shield to use, really. You can essentially use this instead of a Raison Day merge. The only downside is it does drain your health slowly. I've sent the pictures. Oh, cool. I'll have a look after the stream. You've never won anything from the burglar, yeah. It took me, I mean, I got this fairly quick actually, but then I tried to get a god technique from him the day after, and I spent about, I want to say 400,000 was that there, and got nothing. Well, I say I got nothing. I got basically all of the other rare units from that day, apart from the one I wanted. Oh, cool. I'll check that. $904 HP. Oh, so you can finally survive Falter's slap then. Maybe you might be able to survive the beam from the boss actually as well, from this boss. Spent 500,000 last Sunday and got a bunch of fluids and mates. Haven't been that upset with video games since you're a teenager. It's rough, isn't it? Oh, yeah, thanks for that base play. Yeah, so there is a Discord there, so anyone who's interested, feel free to join. You don't need to be a member or anything to join it. There is an extra section, obviously, for memberships, and if you want to join those, there should be a button just under the stream to join membership, but don't really have to. The Discord is still open to everyone. We don't just talk PSO there, it is other fantasy stars as well. Won't lie though, it is mainly PSO. I think everyone just calls it the slap because it just looks like a huge slap. There's also quite a lot of stream VODs on the channel as well, so if anyone's interested in watching all the streams where we play this, they're all up there. Yeah, so there is, like I said, there is a PSO section in Discord, so you should just be able to upload onto that if you want to. Don't gamble for the same reason in real life. When you turned 21, your parents took you to a casino, lost $100 in 30 minutes and never went back. Yeah, and as Draken said, yeah, in the old stream VODs, you can watch us fumble our way through challenge mode. We did manage it, though. We have S ranks to prove it. And there's another one of the stream favourite weapons, a Justy. Yeah, basically for anyone who hasn't been here before, pretty much every single stream that we do PSO, we always find a Silence Claw, we always find a Justy, and there's usually a Final Impact somewhere. It's like a stream curse. You won 140 on Blackjack once. I think the only thing I've ever won, anything like that, is I've occasionally won a little bit on the lottery, and that's about it. I typically don't gamble very much at all, again, because I just feel like it's a waste of money for the most part. But I do need to go and stock up on fluids before we do this. So if you want to do a Photon Blast, we'll need to do it before. Okay, that's fine then. I'll go and get fluids. Yeah, there might be someone who can help you, Ark. After this, I'm probably going to switch over to PSU just to round out the stream. That's craters. That's the wrong pipe. This one. I will reopen the pipe, though. Yeah, there you go. So Minsk will help out. Should probably use the medical center as well, but whatever. He's never joking mutes for no reason. Yeah, there was a bit of an accident last week where, yeah, someone got muted in chat accidentally. Yeah, so this is the episode 4 boss. And there's actually a rare version of this as well, which we have not got. This phase is incredibly annoying. Basically, what you want to do for this is some of these little spinners have like red tops on them or orange tops, and if you destroy certain ones of them, it makes the boss pop out the ground. It does really like putting them directly in front of you, though. So sometimes you'll just get locked into this animation where you're just stuck between... I don't even know what happened there. Was it a green one? It's my bait. Because the green one is a rare one. Yeah, so the green one called Condrieu, that's the rare version. So there's an orange one there, so that'll do. You don't always get the red spinners, I don't think. So basically what happens is his tail will pop out the ground. When it pops out the ground, then you can try and destroy it. So the first phase is normally pretty quick. That's like the intro phase. Second phase is just basically just getting constantly hit by this beam attack over and over again. So basically he retreats into one of these little back curves. Also, this boss has an amazing boss theme. Yeah, I think people split to try and divert the attention of the missiles. The weird thing about this boss is there doesn't seem to be any way of really avoiding his attacks in this phase. You can sometimes get behind one of the rocks, but that rock's not always there. So you basically do just eat the attacks a lot over and over again. And what happens with him is every time you destroy one of his cores on this phase, he goes back to the middle. And after a little while, he'll do this big ult attack where he does a huge beam. Can use the middle rock for cover, which helps though. Oh, here we go. Here's the big beam, and I'm right near it, which is probably not good. Yeah, it really hurts. Where did he go? Is he in here? Oh. Ah, he's gone over the left again. So then he retreats back into one of these places again, and then you destroy another car, and you just keep doing that until he dies, basically. Also, if you have really, really high health for this boss, it's actually harder. Because the tornado that he fires actually just hits you over and over again. I might die here because sometimes this boss cheats through photon blasts. Which is really annoying when it happens. Ah, we're okay, thankfully. Yeah, it's almost done now. This is the weakest version of the episode 4 boss, though. There's actually 3 different versions, so there is a blue one as well. But the blue one only appears in certain quests. I didn't waste any time there. So it'll probably just pop up again in here, I would imagine. Yeah, he's nearly dead now. And there we go, that's him done. I don't feel like he's anywhere near as hard as Falt or Ogafloor. It's still a fun fight, though. Yes, it is, yeah. So this is the boss that's got a link to Rupika. I can't remember offhand what the exact link is. I need to do a playthrough of the episode 4 story again. But there is a link between them. Oh, thanks, Tailwars. And he dropped Mazetta. There's actually nothing good that he's dropped at all. Yeah, so what I'll probably do is I'll just sell some stuff and get the fluids and everything. And then I think what we'll do is we'll switch over to PSU and just round up the stream with some PSU. I actually need more experience than that. I actually need 429,000, but if I have just leveled. Dropped all 167 photos in the PSO chat. Yeah, definitely have a look at that after the stream then. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go to a BR back screen for a couple of minutes just while I set PSU up, and then we'll come back and we'll play a little bit of Clementine PSU. So I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Yeah, so we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, for some reason, PSU has been having some weird problems today. It was working fine earlier on, but for some reason, it's completely ignoring my resolution options. It was working absolutely fine earlier today. I've changed nothing with the game, and now when I launch it, it launches at a really weird resolution. So I need to look into that after the stream and see if I can fix it. So it might look a bit not great today, unfortunately. Should be good enough to play for now, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the resolution for PSU. Yeah, I've noticed that with Clementine. I literally changed nothing with the game at all. I was playing it earlier as well, and it was no problem at all. You got to leave the launcher for a few seconds before starting up. So just like leave it idle for a few seconds. I mean, this will be fine for the stream today. Miss a game, you've been playing an English patch version of PSP2 Infinity on your PSP. Yeah, Infinity is really, really good. Yeah, I'll have to try that next time. Hopefully it looks okay for the stream. If it looks absolutely terrible, let me know and I'll try that. But I'm just aware we've stalled a bit on PSU, that's all. Yeah, so I played PSU. I mainly played the PC version. Oh, hi, Zaylee. Okay. Yeah, so I've got no idea what the best thing to do is at the minute, so I'm only level 86. Well, nearly 87. I know there is an event on, but I don't know if it's like an end game event or if it's something I can do. I really haven't played much PSU at all recently. Yeah, I had a fun time with PSU when I used to play it on Sega servers. I never quite liked it as much as PSO, but I think for what it is, I think it's a really decent game. So the question is, so for anyone who's actually more familiar with Clementine than me, what's the current thing I should be running? Draken's 190. You've been putting work in. No, I only played on, it was the PC and PS2 server, so I played on the PC. Never tried it on 360. Yeah, sure, I'm cool to do the event, yeah. I've got no idea what it is. Like I said, I haven't really played Clementine much at all recently because I've been putting too much time into PSO. Yeah, next time we try PSU, I'll try and get the graphics bug sorted so we can actually make it look a bit decent. Because it does look a lot better than this normally. No, it was a really weird mix. So basically you had the PC servers were combined with the PS2 servers, but then 360 was a separate server. It was really, really odd. Oh, we've got the Eggman music. I sort of miss hearing this in PSO2 constantly. Suppose it is the time of year for it. Get a big clan on 360. Oh, cool. Yeah, I basically had a group of people that I played more or less from PSO onwards with. There's a couple of them I still keep in contact with now. There's never a big group or anything, but yeah, it's just people I've kept in contact with for like 20 years. So this is another one of those weird areas where there's no music for no reason. Ah, that's why, because you can change the BGM here. Ah, cool. Let's play Ignite Infinity then. Speaking of Infinity, such a good game, man. Yeah, I probably need to look into the English patch for Infinity. I played it a lot on the Japanese version on PSP. I would love to play more of that game. Such a good game. Let's knock the music down a bit. It is, yeah. For a PSP game, it does look really good. I really like the system that had in it as well with the rebirths. So, you know, you could get to level 200 and then you could just reset your character back to 1 so you get better stats the next time through. I just thought it was a cool way of like extending the life of the game, really. And for me, I think Infinity is the game that has come closest to PSO in terms of like having fun things to hunt. So there was always plenty of things to look for. I am basically getting carried here. Yeah, if you want to play PSU again, Clementine is really, really easy to get set up. As you may have noticed, there are some issues with it being a little bit buggy, but it is more or less the only option to play PSU at the minute that I'm aware of. It also has some of the PSP and PSP2 areas as well. Instead of a PC that runs it. I think the requirements are fairly low for it because obviously it is a really old game. But yeah, it's not too bad to run, I don't think. And for me, I'll always spend more time in PSO personally, just because that's the game I started with, and it's the game that I definitely have the most fondness for. But I do still enjoy PSU. These knuckles look absolutely ridiculous. Wonder if you can get your 360 to work with it. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I would imagine it's a bit harder to get working, maybe, but I think for now their focus is just on the just purely on PC and PS2. I don't know if you saw as well, but the Clementine devs have actually announced that they are actually working on a PSO2 server as well. But they have said that they're not going to release it until Sega stops support for PSO2. I don't think it's something I would try necessarily because I've played enough PSO2 and I think I've done the time I want to put into it, honestly. But for anyone who's a big fan of PSO2, it's something to look forward to. I am very glad that they're waiting on the Sega service to stop though, because I think it would be a really stupid idea to try that while it's still active. Yeah, I kind of feel the same, Minsk. I played Japanese PSO 2 for about 8 years, and I think I've played all I want to play of it, honestly. I don't mind the game, but it's not a game I love. Never touch PSO 2 again. Yeah, I used to play Japanese PSO 2, but when they changed it so that you basically had to use a VPN to be able to access it, I just stopped then. And I've got no intention, basically, of going back to the Japanese version. I hate how long stun lasts in PSO in PSU. Just came across your videos. I was about to play PSO 1 for the first time in years. Giant noob. What's that? Is it possible to play episode 1 with friends, even on new characters? Yeah, so if you're playing on a server like Ephinea, all you need to do when you make a game is just make sure that you're setting it up under like the game mode. You just want to select normal instead of one-person mode. If you set it as normal, you can put a password on it if you want to, and your friends should be able to join you. So it's up to 4 player. I love the old strat for this guy where you basically just stand behind him, lock onto him and get stuck, and just you basically stick to him constantly. I still don't know why that explosion noise is so loud compared to everything else in the game. I think I've already got most of these, to be honest. Yeah, I've already got those. I never played on GameCube, so I didn't go and give it a try. Yes, so Blueburst, I was saying this earlier, Blueburst is very similar to GameCube, honestly. It's basically GameCube with a bit more content. Yeah, GameCube is where I started, so yeah, I've got a real fondness for PSO GameCube. Yeah, so the ship is what you're connected to online. It depends if you went online, though. You know, if you didn't play online, then you won't have access to ship. Yeah, let's go with the central control area music. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, that Mince raised. So if you wanted to play exactly like GameCube was, there is actually a classic ship on Ephinea as well, where it only has access to episode 1 and 2 stuff. Alternatively, if you want to try the Blueburst stuff as well, you can play like the normal mode and you'll be able to access episode 4 as well. Oh yeah, I need to remember that these things explode and hurt you. I was forgetting that. Can't wait to hear my thoughts on all the picks. Yeah, I'll have a look as soon as the stream's done. I'm interested to see, actually, because I bet there's a load of stuff there I didn't even know existed. Yeah, so back on GameCube, the ship I played on was it's mainly on Mintaka, which is one of the Japanese ships. Mainly because I did it to avoid a lot of the people who would crash your game. Yes, I was Mintaka 5.8. I did play it on Antares a little bit as well because I think that was the official PSO world ship. Yeah, I never really had a problem with anyone freezing my game on the Japanese ships. It was always on, if I ever tried playing on, I think, was it Vega, one of the American ships? That was just a hellhole. I mean, stuff is basically dissolving here, but it's because, like, most of the party's, like, over level for this. It's more because I'm just way behind. But yeah, David, I think you'll enjoy Blue Burst if you played a lot of GameCube. We do have a Discord as well. It was linked earlier in the stream, but what I'll try and do is once we finish the stream, I can link a link to the Discord as well. I should probably just put it as a pinned comment, to be honest, just so people can access it easier. I'll sort that out as soon as the stream ends. Oh, you're on the IGN readership. Yeah, I think on Blue Burst, I think I played on, I think, was it Hyperion? I think it was called. I think. Yeah, I suppose when you think of GameCube PSO, I suppose a lot of people who played it probably never played online because the broadband adapter was so awkward to get. It was quite expensive at the time as well, so I know that a lot of people that I played with in real life, a lot of them never went online with it. Just because they couldn't justify, you know, paying for a hunter's license and buying the broadband adapter as well. At that point, I was already too far gone, and I was straight in with the broadband adapter. Some question, can you use the Xbox controller for Ephinea? Should be fine. Quite a lot of controllers work with it. I like that. It says, someone has found a special weapon. It doesn't say what it is. Yeah, you should be able to play with an Xbox controller fine. I used to use an Xbox One controller, and it worked okay. There are certain controllers that PSO is a little bit funny with. I know I tried using a Switch Pro controller, and for me, I had a load of problems with it until I played around with Steam. Made a force last week, but don't have any good gear. Or level to use anything. First time down in forest, the amplifier barter dropped. Oh, nice. Had the broadband and sold it, then I buy it again. You play online now on private servers on Cube. Oh, cool. Which private server do you play on for GameCube? Hey, level 90. Yes, this is one of the cool things about Clementine. So this stage is from PSP2. So the just made it playable. You do both because you can change IP address. Ah, cool. Yeah, I suppose that's the advantage of GameCube, isn't it? You can just change the IP address and then connect to another server. Never actually completed episode 1 even on normal. Think it would be fun to try with some friends. Yeah, it'd be cool if it's your first time through. The only problem is if you get friends into PSO and they get addicted to it, then you're never getting out. You're stuck here then. Made it to the doorway, had to find all the pillars. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so on GameCube you have to do those. Good news is on Blueburst you don't have to do that. The pillars are still there, but you don't have to actually unlock them all to be able to access the final area. It's a shame we never did the last part though, because the next area is the last one in episode 4. Good enough before I get there. Seen the final boss fight now, so it looked cool. It is quite a good boss fight. It is very irritating in the high difficulties. The boss just gets deleted. It would not normally be that fast. It's just because we've got some really high level people in the party. Almost fight 6. Anything new? I've already got a spread blaster. Happy Rappy Parasol. That sounds cool. The Rappies are so cute is what this lovely parasol rod is all about. An odd item that brings more happiness as you use it. What a weird weapon. Let's see, what should we go with this time? This is a really, really good boss theme as well. This is the episode 3 final boss theme. So I'm guessing the gimmick of this quest is just that it changes every time you run it. Or is it multiple quests? I've got no idea. Changes depending on what you do or pick at the start. Oh, cool. I like that because it gives the quest a bit more variety. You're not just running the same thing over and over again. Which, after running TTF for about 4 or 5 hours straight yesterday, looking for red slimes on PSO, some variety is always good. Okay, so it switches up the boss as well. Fair enough. Experience is insane here, like leveling pretty quickly. Yeah, David, if you've never played through episode 1 before, just wait till you get episode 2 and episode 4. I was really dirty putting one of those behind me. I didn't even see that spawn. Just trying to get it running right now. Oh, cool. Yeah, you'll probably find that the controller will probably act a little bit weird when you first play. All you need to do when you get on is just go into the controller settings and just bind it. The only other annoying thing about PSO with controllers is that if your controller disconnects for any reason, when it reconnects, it probably won't pick it up. So you'd have to restart the game again, which is really annoying. I think that's just the thing with PSO, though, rather than your controller. Do you need an account on the site? I believe so. So I think you have to set an account up on the website, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I set mine up now, though. So yeah, if you go on Ephinea, if you go on the Ephinea website, I think there is a guide how to connect on there. I'm pretty sure you just set an account up on the website though, and then you can set a game account up. Also, just be careful when you're setting your account up as well. There's a couple of options for setting your account up. So there's an option called Sandbox, and Sandbox basically lets you level up with commands, and you can spawn weapons and things. It's basically a way to like mess around with testing things out. So if you want to play the game properly, make sure you set a normal account up. And once you've got in the game, it'll be more or less similar to PSO GameCube, though. That did an absolute ton of damage. Yeah, what you'll find with Ephinea as well is it actually still really has a healthy population as well. So even if your friends don't get into PSO, you should still be able to play it really easy with other people, because there's always usually at least a couple of hundred people online. Stupid question, but assume the server is pretty reputable safe. To all my knowledge, yeah, the guys that run it are really long time PSO community members. They've been around since like the Dreamcast days. When you install the game, you might get a warning. You might get a warning that says it's a Trojan threat. You can just ignore that. All it is just because the way that the game files are packaged. I can assure you that I've had the game installed for ages, as have loads of other people, and there's no problem with it. It's just like a false positive. So yeah, I certainly wouldn't worry about it. Again, I don't know why that is so loud compared to everything else in the game. The sound mixing in PSU is just weird at times. I like how that hit me. It's continuing to hit me even though I'm behind him. The only problem with the nano blast is I take so much more damage. There we go. I was about to run out anyway, so... Yeah, so Minsk will help you as well. We play with Minsk quite often, so we should be able to help you get set up, no problem at all if you got any problems. This will probably be very loud again. Why? PSU really needs better sound balancing. Yeah, there's nothing I really need there. Just hit the grinder bases and that'll do. You always thought the bosses in PSU didn't have enough health. It does feel that way to an extent. Yeah, I do find that a lot of things in PSU do feel very squishy. But to be fair though, we have got some really high level people in this party as well, so they're kind of over level for this area. Oh, the people you were running with, okay. Just making a character now, you have some research to do. Well, if you need a hand with any of the characters, I do have, just to plug my own channel a bit more, I do have videos on my channel that cover every single class in PSO, all the upsides and downsides for them. Ephinea's probably safer than the official Sega servers. Yeah, we'll have to get the plug-in somewhere. Yeah, I don't mind trying a different one. We can try any route. But yeah, essentially, if there's anything you need to know about PSO, I've probably got a video for most of it on my channel, and there will be more coming. But particularly for class guides, every single class is on there. There are some classes I know a lot more about than others, so... Yeah, I do still enjoy my time with Clementine PSU. I just... Personally, I see me spending a lot more time in PSO, personally. But that is probably just because I am hopelessly addicted to PSO. Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier, but as I've got the online server working for episode 3, I do plan on doing maybe a little bit more episode 3 content as well. We'll mix it up though, just because I appreciate not everyone's interested in episode 3. It is a very polarizing game. I personally really like it, but... Yeah, basically, David. So when you first get on, there'll be a few ships you can choose from. It doesn't matter which one you go on. You can change it any time as well. So basically, every time you log on, you'll be able to choose a different ship if you want to. It's just where you want to play at that time. So there's a ship called Fodra, which is based in the US. There is one called Aldrant, which I think is Japanese, and there is one called, I believe it's Limaris, which is the European ship. Limaris is where we tend to hang out normally. But as I said, every time you play, you can just choose whichever ship you want to play on. I would say that if you want to play with other people, Fodra is probably the one that's definitely the most popular. Just because a lot of the player base are American. But it doesn't mean that you have to play on Fodra if you're American. You don't have to play on the European ships if you're European. You can play on whatever you want to. Yeah, so you just pick every time you log in. So when you log in, you can actually check and see how many people are on each ship, and you can just choose which one you want to play on. So it's not something that ties to your character or anything. So yeah, you basically got the ship select, and then once you've chosen a ship, you'll land in the lobby. And then there's like a little portal at the back of the lobby. And if you go there, you can change different blocks of the lobby if you want to. So if you want to meet up with Minsk, you would go to the Limaris ship in block 2. And once you spawn in, all you would do is you would turn around and you would look at the portal, and you would just choose lobby 13 from the portal. Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, I tend to play on Limaris when I'm soloing, because obviously I'm from the UK, so the server's nearer, so there's less ping. But honestly, the ping is not bad on any of them, really. I can play on the American ship absolutely fine. There's a tiny bit of delay. I'll occasionally notice that if an enemy drops something, sometimes the item will appear in a slightly different location to where the enemy died, but typically it plays fine. For what it's worth as well, the population on Ephinea is generally really helpful as well. You're actually joining at a really good time as well, because so this week is a rare drop week boost, but next week, so from Sunday onwards next week, there's actually an experience boost, so you'll be able to level up faster as well. I always forget when I play PSU how cursed these rappies are. Just making your character. Have we decided what you're going with? Yeah, what did they feed those rappies? Yeah, you tell me. I think it's better if we don't know what they were fed. Just picked a hunter. Okay. Which, what type hunter did you go with? Yeah, they're absolutely huge. First one male. Okay, so humor. Yeah. Yeah, so you can make initially up to 4 characters. I have no idea why I died there. I'm assuming it was one of those guys that hit me during the cutscene. But yeah, so what you can do is you can make up to 4 characters initially. But when you open the launcher, there's actually an option to switch character slots. So what you can do is there are different character banks. So when you first go in, you'll have a bank of up to 4 characters. But once you've made those 4 characters, or at any time, you can then have another bank of characters if you want to, but you need to set that in the launcher. So you can actually have a lot more than 4. Yeah, so if you didn't know, Doomlord, when you open the launcher, there's a bit right at the top of the launcher, and it says something like slot 1 to 4. And if you click on that and change it to, say, 5 to 8, when you log on, it'll show you a different bank of characters. I believe there might be a way to trade between them as well. But yeah, you can have a lot more than 4 characters. It's up to 8 banks of characters, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, Draken, I think that's probably where I'm going to end anyway. That's a nice time to end the stream. So I think we'll probably end there for today. So what I'll do is I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat in a little bit, just so you've got a link to that if you want to access the Discord. Next week, there'll be an NGS video midweek, and then later in the week, it'll probably be either a PSO or PSU video. I haven't decided yet. And then there'll be another stream next Sunday as well, where we'll probably just play, again, a mix of a few different Fantasy Star games. But as always, if you enjoyed what you've seen, consider liking, subscribing, or joining as a member. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well, or X, at SectionSkyly. And I usually post when I'm going live there as well. So for the meantime, I'll end this one there. Hope you all guys have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys next Sunday for another stream. See you guys.